Masrul. Masrul, can you tell me what is the meaning of your name?
Sir, honestly, I didn't find any meaning of the Masrul name, but if I add my title, then it will be like who will follow the piece of path.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, like you are from Plassey, just like you
Yes,
mentioned,
sir.
it is also there in the DAF. So, can you tell me, like, what is the significance of Plassey in Indian history?
Sir, it is a battlefield of policy, basically. There was a battle when the West East India Company
Hmm.
and the Bengal Nawab Nawaz Sirajullah.
All right. So,
So
it is, it is.
after that, East India Company uh, started their business whole Bengal. Then they were going throughout the all over India.
All right. So, you are from, like, I think you have been to Nadia also, Nadia district, right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
this, like, we have heard that Nadia district is known as Oxford of Bengal. So,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me why it is so?
Sir, there is a place in Nadia district, Nabadip. So Nabadip is a highly educated, and in the past, the Nabadip was known for their philosophy and educational background. So that's why Nadia district called is Oxford of Bengal.
All right. So, Masarul, like generally, see, geology is a little bit unconventional, at least
Yes,
in
sir.
Indian context. So, you were decent in your 11th, like 12th and 10th standard. So, like, what made you to attract towards geology? What was your first exposure to geology?
Sir, before up to high intermediate, I don't know about geology. When I moved to Aligarh Muslim University, then my elder brother told about there is a subject in geology, and one of my senior from my area who already in posted in GSI. So he told me about what is the geology. There is a field work. You can visit office job and field job. So that attracted me to build my career in this field.
All right, fair enough, right? So, Masarul, you are also from Bengal. So, can you tell me three positive or something interesting things about Bengal which you like, and three things which you don't like?
Sir, three things. First of all, I like the Bengal is a mini India. Uh, in Bengal, there is a hill area in the Darjeeling part. We can see Himalaya there. Then we can go the Bengal beach area, and there is a peninsular part also there. And if you visit, and the second important thing, there is a various river, floodplain area. Though agriculture and greenery is very beautiful in Bengal. The Bengal basically plain area, so people are very sweets. And third thing is it's a cultural and it's educational background, which is more attractive in the country whole over India. Like they are Rabindranath Tagore, uh, then some economist. I forget the recollect his name.
Amartya Sen.
Amartya Sen. Yes, sir. So that's why I like Bengal. This three thing. And the three thing I don't like, the it's like cut off little bit about from other part of India that I don't like. And second thing, it's that heritage in the past. It is little bit of a dissolve. It's going like vanish from the heart of West Bengal. So that's it, sir.
Like you mean it is cut off from main India, like,
No,
through like
cut off means
transportation?
so cut off means like the, the thing it's like culturally and politically or that way I'm talking about.
All right. Like so, like I didn't still get it. So, like you said that it is mini India, and then you are saying it is cut off from India. So I didn't get the.
Well, cut off me, I want to say like the people not connected with very much with the Hindi belt.
Okay. So you
Uh,
mean in terms of linguistically?
yes,
Uh,
sir.
all right. Okay. So like
They are they are मतलब in between them they are like मतलब वो अपने साथ मतलब लोगों के साथ रहना चाहते हैं. They not mix up with the very
Okay.
other people.
yes.
So, like, do you think you also have the same trait? Because if you get selected in JSI, you might be,
No
posted
sir,
at Chennai, and you might have to live with, some.
actually that thing feel when I came out of West Bengal. I already there in Aligarh. Then I came to Mumbai. So I mix up different culture, different writers, people, and different culture and different peoples. So I do all the things, and I know if you are
All,
living that place, then it will be very much. It will mature you, and it will like fulfill your shape. If you it shape you fulfill.
all right, all right. So, Mashul, my last two question with you, is your hobby is traveling. So, can you very briefly tell me at what all places have you traveled?
Sir, I visited from West Bengal. There is a Hajardwari Palace in Murshidabad district. Then Victoria Memorial in Kolkata. Then there is a St.
Like,
Paul Cathedral.
but I do you think this is traveling? It is only sightseeing, like the city. You are just traveling within the city. So, like, what is traveling for you? Like, it is like going home to college. Is it traveling, or
No, sir, it's not traveling because it is a requirement like thing or a necessity. Traveling is like, which is like you wishing, like you feel pleasure from that mood.
All right. So my last question. Okay, you just can you tell me what is the dissertation topic? What was your dissertation topic?
Sir, I have done two dissertation. During my MSc, I work on geochemical study of immerable sediment of the Western Hydrogeologic Plain, assessment of paleothetic and source area. When I in MTech program, then I have done another thesis work, which is coronal texture in gabbroic anorthosite, a
Gabbroic.
mineralogical study.
Okay, Gabbroic anorthosite. And the first one is geochemical studies,
Geochemical study of human river sediment.
Yamuna River. All right,
Yes,
Yamuna River. All right. So that's it from my side for now. Over to you, Vishal. Right? Thank you, Masarul.
thank you.
Hello, Masroor. How are you?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well.
Good. So, what is your preference regarding this examinations? Do you want to join GSI or do you want to join CGWB?
My first preference is hydrogeologist.
Hydrogeologist.
Yes, sir.
So, why is that?
Sir, I am fascinated about the water resources, its management and conservation. And hydrogeology, it's a interdisciplinary field, highly interdisciplinary field.
Mm,
Hydrology not about
mm,
only hydrogeology. It's working with physics, chemists, and biologists. So that knowledge varieties, it's fascinating me to acquire that field. And the in future, it's the hydrology scope is very much bright future. That push me to career my future in this field.
Okay. So, can you tell me what is the difference between hydrology and hydrogeology
Yes,
and
sir.
geohydrology? These
Yes,
four,
sir.
these three terms. Yeah.
Sir, hydrology and hydrogeology,
Mm. And geohydrology.
geohydrology. So hydrology is basically the study of the surface water and also groundwater. But hydrologist is mostly concerned about the groundwater and its management, conservation. And geohydrology, sir, I'm not sure about, but can I make a guess?
You can make a guess, but you skipped the hydrogeologist. Hydrogeology, basically.
So hydrogeology is basically groundwater, study of the groundwater,
Mm,
its management,
mm,
conservation,
mm.
and its flow.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were guessing about geohydrology. What do you want to say about it?
Sir, geohydrology is geological relation with the hydrology. Like, I'm not sure, sir.
Mm. You have mixed up hydrology and geohydrology, but it's fine. Okay. So, you are talking about the interdisciplinary nature of hydrogeology. Can you tell me what is the relation between biology and groundwater?
So biology, the groundwater contains some biological material which is
Mm,
good for our health. But if
mm,
the biological contaminant is high amount, or like
mm,
any organism biological contaminated which polluted the groundwater, then it will be uh, hazard. It will be very dangerous for human life.
Okay,
So
can you give me example from both of them? Like both of these scenarios you have said, like in one way it will be very useful for groundwater development, and in other way it will be a contaminant in
yes,
groundwater system.
yes.
So what kind of examples can you give me in
like
terms of
sir,
biological effect? Yeah.
if there is feces or animal feces or some kind of thing, and they contain some biological bacteria type thing. If they contaminated in
Mm,
groundwater, then it will be very dangerous for human life. And the
mm,
biological material which is helpful, like some
mm,
bacteria
mm,
in our body also there, in our body,
mm,
so that
mm,
help in different way. So
mm.
I'm talking about that sense.
So can you quote any bacteria which you're talking about in case of contaminant and in case of their applicability, usefulness in groundwater system? Examples, specific examples.
Sorry, sir, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, all right. And another question which I have is how does the fecal matter reach the groundwater? Because groundwater is flowing underground, right? And fecal matter is being deposited on the surface of the system by
Sorry, sir, can you
organisms.
repeat the question? Pardon me, sir. Can
I'm
you repeat?
asking, yeah, how does the fecal matter which you are talking about it reaches the groundwater? Because it is depositing on the surface of the earth, no?
Yes,
And
sir.
groundwater is inside subsurface. So can you tell me how does it reach the system?
Sir, if people are fishes in like open area, then it will through rain or like surface
Mm,
water body, meeting through
mm,
the surface water body like river or lake,
mm,
then it is percolating on the ground surface, then it reaches to the ground surface, I mean,
mm,
groundwater. So
mm, mm.
that way it's mixed with groundwater, and it's dangerous for human life.
Okay. Can you tell me the different stratas or the classification of zones through which precipitation reaches the water table? Different zones.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So basically, sir, groundwater surface, the
Mm,
groundwater and the whole hydrology zone, it is divided two parts mainly. The
mm,
below water table is a zone of saturation, a phreatic
mm,
water zone. Above
mm,
the groundwater table, there is a zone of
mm,
aeration or vadose zone. In vadose zone,
mm,
there is a three layer. The first layer is the soil water, mid,
mm,
the middle, the intermediate zone, and the lower
mm,
part is the capillary feed zone.
mm.
So in
Okay.
three zone, the precipitation water reach to the ground surface, the groundwater.
Mm, okay. So does a capillary zone have water?
Yes, sir. Capillary zone has water, but we cannot drawn out that water
Mm. Why is that?
because, sir, it's a property of pore spaces. If the
Mm,
pore space uh, is less, then capillary fringe is high. It is surface tension, and there is a like physics things. So
mm. So
yes,
what are the physics things there? Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
there I don't recollect all the things. Like there is a surface tension, and the pore
Mm-hmm.
space connected in between them,
Mm,
and water wet
mm-hmm.
contact.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
angle
You're
means
doing
something.
rightly. Yeah, yeah. Mm.
So that
Okay.
is
Anything else you want to add? Yeah, yeah.
there
Go
is
on,
a
go on.
equation.
Mm.
So I think, sir,
Can you
it's
recall the? Yeah. Yeah.
Capillary action equal to 0 point something Hc by Rc.
Mm. Good. Yes. Do you know the meniscus? Yeah, it is basically talking about the meniscus of the water
Yes, sir.
column.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the meniscus? Can you define a meniscus?
Sir, I'm not sure. I think
Mm.
meniscus is the angle between the pores is pore tangent with the pore and the
Achha,
water
okay.
contact.
All right. All right. Yeah, I understand. But yeah, so all right. So why do we not consider capillary fringe zone with the water table, within the water table? What is the reason?
Sir, capillary film is not fully saturated with water.
Hmm.
That's
Okay.
why we don't consider it as a groundwater.
Okay. All right. So you have studied in Aligarh. So what
Yes.
kind of an area was Aligarh? Was it a soft rock area or a hard rock area?
Sir,
Just
this
sorry,
this
sorry to interrupt मसूल, if possible please आप थोड़ा सा कैमरा और नीचे कर सकते हो, उससे आपके वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन भी दिखेगा ना, हैंड मूवमेंट वगैरह. हाँ, इट इज फाइन. थोड़ा सा हाथ भी
Yeah.
दिखाओ. ऑलराइट, प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
sir in Aligarh area there is in the Gangetic plain mostly alluvium. The basement is
Hmm.
Bindhan
Hmm.
sandstone. Yes.
Okay. So what kind of a aquifer system do you find in a Gangetic plain area?
There is mostly unconfined aquifer we found in the
So there
Gangetic
are
plain.
no Okay, so there are no confined aquifer in Gangetic plain, you are saying?
No, sir. Maybe there, but I'm not aware of it. I
Achha,
will go
okay.
through it.
Okay, all right. Let me know if you are assigned groundwater exploration work in a Gangetic plain area, which is alluvial in nature. How will you carry your work forward? What will be your method to carry out groundwater exploration in that area?
Sir, first I am looking. I am study about the literature survey, which the
Mm,
we can get the from the lithology and what kind of rock
mm,
like shale, sandstone, or any
mm,
uh, calcite carbonate type rock. Then
mm,
uh, there will be like geomorphological features if there is any
mm,
geomorphological feature, and
mm,
also looking for any. After that, we can go through the method, which method we should use there. Like if it's soft rock, then we do some kind of geophysical physical method use करेंगे, like
mm,
electrical survey,
mm,
resistivity survey.
mm,
Then electrical survey, we can go through the what is the aquifer zone, like what is
mm,
the water table depth and how much is the unconsolidated thick cover, and if there is any buried channel, and the what is the water table depth and what is the level of if there is any saline or brackish water contact zone. So we can differentiate from there. Then
mm,
we like out-skid drilling. Then we do some out-skid drilling. Then through out-skid drilling, we know the depth of sand layer or the shell layer, how much thick that shell layer or sand layer. Then we put in drilling method, we put like some kind of pipe, like which is uh, sir, I just forget that pipe. Like if in alluvium zone, there's a different pipe,
mm,
which is a
mm,
hole in between them.
mm. Well
So
casing. What
yes,
kind of well casing do we use? So you can't recall that. Okay. Can you tell me the difference between a tube well and a bore well?
sorry, sir, I don't.
Okay, fine. So you did your dissertation in gabbroic anorthosite also, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the difference between a gabbro and an anorthosite?
So another is a both are igneous rock, but another is contain 90 greater than 90% of logiclage, which is mostly
Mm,
pyrite and labradorite. in composition. But in case of gabbro is a mafic rock, which main composition is CPX, clinopyroxene, and plagioclase, and plus minus hornblende, biotite, olivine.
Okay. So why do these two rock types are found in association with each other in the field? Can you give me an concept behind it?
So when the primary magma it's differentiate, then the mafic minerals, when the magma crystallization, the mafic minerals sinking in the lower part, it's formed like a gabbroid nature type rock, and the plagioclase, which is less dense, going in the upper surface of the magma chamber. So it's form of most of the plagioclase greater than 90% or like something. So it's form of andesitic nature. So if that whole situation is merged up, so it's behave like this kind of rock, gabbroid anthracite.
Okay. So why does the plagioclase go up in the magma chamber?
The plagioclase is low density as compared to the magma. So that's why they go in the roof area in the magma chamber.
Okay. All right. So I'm done. Over to you, Prakash.
Hello, Masarul.
Hello, sir.
So you have opted being a hydrogeologist rather than exploration geologist.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me what are the major responsibility of CGWB in India, especially?
Sir, CGW main responsibility is the management and the conservation of groundwater. And it's also responsibility, it's a scientific way to explore the groundwater, and also located the over exploitation area, which is area over exploited.
Any concern for the non-pollution of water, groundwater? Do they focus preserving the overall content of water, groundwater?
Yes, sir. They are also focusing about the like there is a subsidiary branch or division, which is the CGW is basically it's a subsidiary part of Ministry of Jal Shakti, which is contained the CGWB itself. Then it's a water reverse resource and Ganga rejuvenation. So in this part, water resources and Ganga rejuvenation, that part the pollutant and also coming to this thing.
Okay. Can you mention some legislations regarding water pollution control?
Sorry, sir, I don't know.
Okay. You said you love to roam around. Have you been to any national geological monument in your field trip or in your any excursion, any personal visits?
Sir, National Geological, I visit Udaipur Fort and Chittorgarh Fort.
So can you name the exact name of that National Geological Monument? Have you heard of it? You must have heard of it.
Yes, sir, I heard about, but
Can you name 4 or 5?
Sir, Victoria Memorial Hall.
National Geological Monument, I'm saying.
National Geological. Sorry, sir, I didn't visit any National Geological monuments.
Have you heard of Eparchian unconformity?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Sir, Eparchian unconformity, basically it's unconformity which is between Archean, Neo-Archean to Paleoproterozoic boundary, which demarcates the Neo-Archean and Paleoproterozoic boundary.
And what is the type area, locality?
So it's a type area in southern Deccan, below the Dharwad Ketan, which is Tirupati area in Tamil Nadu.
If you go, have you been to Jodhpur? Mehrangarh Fort?
No, sir.
No. Suppose, have you heard of Malani Igneous Fort?
Yes, sir.
There is a national geological monument over there, which separates the magma and the sandstone. Okay, the upper sandstones.
Yes,
so which kind of unconformity that can be?
it's a non-conformity.
Non-conformity.
Yes, sir.
What is disconformity then?
Sir, discontinuity, it's define the lower surface and the surface of erosion. Surface of erosion below the bed and upper the beds all are parallel.
So how do you differentiate the upper and lower layer? And
So there will be some kind of source of erosion. Like if we put any fossil, if we look into fossil, if the lower fossil is like trilobite we found, and then we directly found in the ammonites, then there will be some kind of unconformity there. But if the beds are parallel, both, so it will define that unconformity is disconformity.
okay.
Yes, sir.
In fact, not only India, the world is facing the issues of groundwater pollution.
Yes, sir.
Many areas in India, there is not sufficient drinking water.
Yes, sir.
There are so many diseases that has been caused by polluting water, groundwater.
Yes, sir.
So can you name certain diseases that has been, caused by polluted water, especially in kids?
Yes, sir. Sir, if fluoride content is high, then it is a fluorosis a disease, which is decay of teeth. And there is also if nitrate content is high, permissible limit, then it will causes methagloglurenia. It's a disease which is mostly found in the child. And if the arsenic content is very high, then there will be like skin cancer or gallbladder cancer. So
Okay.
yes, sir.
India have so many hot springs also.
Yes, sir.
There are regions where the geothermal gradient is very high.
Yes, sir.
Can you name certain places in India where there are
Yes.
geysers?
Yes, sir. Puga in Ladakh, there is
Okay.
a geothermal, and in West Bengal, there is a Bakreshwar, there is a hot spring there, and in the Himalayan foothill region, there is a lot of hot spring also there.
So what can be the reason of these springs? Why these geysers forms? Hot springs basically.
Yes, sir. So basically, when the magma coming to the earth surface from below, so they release the heat in the surrounding part and the radioactive element which emitted the heat. So that heat induce the water to hot, and if there is any fracture like fracture or shear zone, the water coming through the surface, so that form a hot spring.
Okay. I have come across many small river sections, waterfalls. People claim that if you take bath in those waterfalls, your skin disease will be resolved.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what kind of speciality of that flowing water?
Sir, actually hot spring contain lot of elemental composition.
I'm talking about general springs. If you go to Uttarakhand,
Yes, sir.
especially in Dehradun area, there is something called Sahasradhara.
Yes,
No?
sir.
So people claim that if you go there, there will be less chances of skin diseases. If you're having it, it will be cured.
Yes, sir.
So is that claim good? Is that feasible? Or if it's feasible, then what special constituents are there in those water?
Sir, it's feasible, and the constituent is mostly sulfur rich in the water, so that cure the skin diseases.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is eutrophication?
So eutrophication is basically it's like in the lake environment, that pollutant the lake area. So there is like in algal bloom through the surface. When the
Why these
nutrient amount is very high, like phosphate or nitrate, then the bacteria or algal bloom is overexploited.
Okay.
So that create that environment, which is an anoxic environment. It's called eutrophication.
Okay. Tell me some, can you tell me some, indigenous methods of rainwater harvesting in India, which
Yes, sir.
is still in use?
Sir, Pakka Jhiria in Madhya Pradesh tribal area using Pakka Jhiria and
Okay.
Johar
Yes.
and the well, which is in the rural area, dug well.
Okay. Do you know that is there any legislation in any state of India or a central act, which forces the people to have rainwater harvesting mechanism in their houses? Do you know any such act by any state government or central government?
Sir, I read in news the in different states, like states are encouraged to rainwater harvesting, but I'm not sure about if there is a rule. If there is a rule, then I think it will be in Goa or in Chhattisgarh.
Okay, read about that. What is the law of the sea?
So law of the sea is basically it's allow how much distance you can explore the natural resources which in the sea floor. So in if any country, the coastal area, which is divided into 5 zones, like economic explosive zone. First is inland water, then economic territorial water, then economic explosive zone, then the open sea or the high water, open water. So we can.
What is the unit of distance that is used in
nautical?
What is that in terms of kilometers?
Sir, 1 nautical miles is 1 nautical equal to 1.85, yeah, 1.35, I think, kilometer.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Can you tell how the isotopes are used for hydrogeological prospecting?
Yes, sir. Basically, we are using stable isotope as well as the radioactive isotope to determine the paleo temperature or age of groundwater.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's move to some general geology questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose if you don't become a hydrogeologist in GSI,
Yes, sir.
you'll be becoming a exploration geologist.
Yes, sir.
So, do you know UNFC classification?
Yes, sir.
What is this?
The United Nations Framework Classification, they made a classification which is universally using for the mineral exploration. They categorize 4 categories: G4, G3, G2, and G1.
Okay.
And in other perspective, they also categorize in 3 sections a coding system, which is geological axis, one is economical axis, and third one is a feasibility axis.
Okay. So, if I say,
yes, sir.
The code is 433.
433. Yes, sir.
433.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what can someone decipher from this code?
Sir, it's a like reconnaissance survey type thing, and there is not probability is very less. There will be some kind of mineral deposit or economic deposit you will get there.
Okay.
We can move to Khansa ma'am. फिर last में you can
Yeah,
come again, right?
you can continue, please.
Hello, good evening, Masur. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, so you want to become a hydrogeologist.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you tell me the which geophysical method is best suited for groundwater exploration?
Electrical resistivity survey.
Why it is so?
Basically, electrical resistivity survey, actually, ma'am, in groundwater, we can uh, electrical resistivity survey, we basically use the resistivity of the medium. So if we found there is a saturated zone and is a dry rock or unsaturated zone, then we can differentiate where is the groundwater located, and also the quality of water. Like if the saline water or you will get fresh water, the saline water will be low resistivity. In ground fresh water, there will be high resistivity. So that's why it's
Okay, what is the unit of it?
fine.
Unit
Yes, ma'am. Ohm meter resistivity.
ohm meter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the difference? Why we get? What is the difference in groundwater resistivity of groundwater in igneous rock and surface igneous rock? What is the difference between two?
Pardon me, ma'am. Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, I'm asking the resistivity of groundwater. Igneous, the groundwater which is found in igneous rock is different from that in surface water.
Yes, ma'am. In igneous rock groundwater, they are contact with igneous rocks, so there will be some kind of reaction, or the mineral or iron it goes to in groundwater. But in case of surface water, that not the thing happen. So that's why the resistivity is different from surface water and the igneous rock hosted groundwater.
Okay, how will you differentiate a dry land and a wetland in an aerial photograph?
Ma'am, in aerial photograph in the wetland area, the vegetation will be very high. The crown of the canopy of the vegetation will be detected. In case of dry land, there will be not no such kind of canopy or crown in vegetation will get.
In aerial photograph, which
Yes,
features will you choose? Like tone or texture? I'm not talking about those things. Whether it will look dark or light gray.
yes, ma'am. In case of tone and texture, the wetland area will be like dark, and in case of dry land, there will be a light.
Okay. How would you differentiate between Mesa and Butte?
Ma'am, Mesa, it's a isolated tableland tableland area which is due to form by erosion. It's a broadland. If the erosion is much and it's like a small area, then it will be called Bate.
Okay. What is ophitic texture?
Ophitic texture, uh, it's basically a plagioclase and clinopyroxene texture. The plagioclase lath enclosed in the augite mineral. So we can
So which
find
type
the
of
texture in dolerite and gabbro also.
okay, and what is Rapa Kiwi?
Rapakabi texture, it's a granitic texture, which is in between KF feldspar and plagioclase.
Okay. What is raster and vector?
Raster, both are the data, like raster data, we can use raster data and vector data.
What is the advantages and disadvantages of both?
Sorry, ma'am, I don't recollect it now.
Can you name any famous scientist from Nadia district?
Famous scientist, sorry, ma'am, but I can, the famous people from Nadia district.
Okay. Do you
Yes,
know
ma'am.
SN Bose?
Yes, ma'am. SN Bose.
He is from Nadia district.
हाँ
Thank you, ma'am.
अभी मॉक चल रहा है ना मैं आता हूँ 8 बजे तक
Okay, you have done your
ठीक है
MSc dissertation in Yamuna.
Yes, ma'am.
Heavy metal assessment. So how would you differentiate between whether the pollution is man-made or it is a natural contamination in river?
Ma'am, we can go through the analysis part, through analysis the sample. If the contaminated thing which will be contaminated, if the amount is very high, then and it will be overall distributed throughout the area, then it will be natural. If there is a particular area, then it will be mostly man-made.
Okay. Okay. So what is sodium absorption ratio?
Sodium absorption is equal, it's a ratio. It is a sodium ion upon underscore calcium ion plus magnesium ion by 2.
So what it indicates? What's the significance of it?
Ma'am, sodium absorption ratio, it indicates the quality of water. If the sodium absorption ratio is very high, then it's not good for irrigation or like consumption for human health.
Okay. Have you read about groundwater provinces of India? Can you name which state has the highest replenishable groundwater resource in India?
I think it's a UP.
Okay. Good.
Uttar Pradesh.
Over to you, Prakash sir.
So you come from a place. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
You come from a place where there is a world famous Sundarban deltas are there, you know.
Yes, sir.
What kind of ecology is there? What kind of plants that you know generally observe?
So the most famous is the mangrove type plant there.
And in which conditions mangroves survive, and which is tough for their survival?
The mangrove is basically survival in the coastal area where the fresh water and salinator mix, and there is a high amount of terrestrial or plastic influx and there, and there are also tropical type climate. The sun is insulation is very high, and also I just declare all the things.
What is very special about mangroves?
So mangroves is they can live without in anoxic environment because their root is blind root, which is a new metaphor. So they grow up through the upper surface in the land, and its important feature is there is the germination, and that germination is different from the normal germination of any plant.
Okay.
Like before they fall into the land surface, they germinate the seeds.
You said that you love physics because groundwater is, you know, interdisciplinary.
Yes, sir.
You love physics, chemistry. That's why you are, you know, opting for this. So,
yes,
state the basic principle of Bernoulli theorem.
So Bernoulli theorem is basically if we look into a pipe, there in between the pipe, one end is the broad area and other end is like a small area. The velocity of the flow of any fluid in the broad area, it will be less. In the lower surface area, there will be high velocity, and it's.
Let me cut you short.
Yes, sir.
It is based on the conservation of energy, conservation of
Yes,
mass, conservation of what?
It's a base of conservation of energy.
Okay, over to you, Mayank sir. Now, well done, Masrul. We'll call you back for the feedback. Okay, so you can drop right now. Mayank sir, is that okay?
Yes, yes. Masul, you can leave the call for a few minutes. Then I'll text you and you can come back for the feedback, right? Thank you.
Okay,
Your
sir.
mock is over.
Okay, thank you.